Friends, we face a time when fascists and white supremacists and neo-Nazis are on the rise, and they're getting encouragement from the highest places, and we cannot be silent. They feed on fear and hatred and punishment of the most marginalized in our society. We have to stand with them. We have to stand up and say no. But we also need to do more than just stand up and say no. We need to take actions. And to do that, the first thing we have to do is also look at ourselves and whether or not we are going to act out of fear or hatred or anger. Because if we do that, we feed the Nazis' worldview. We must act as Gandhi did, or Martin Luther King Jr. did, and many others. We must act in a way that says we will pay attention to what is real. We will name what is real. We will call the evil for what it is. We will stand with those who are marginal. We will not, however, practice hate. I personally find it very difficult to use the love word in connection with the president and many of his minions. But it is necessary for us to practice love of those who back this president in his actions, because they're not all terrible. But the United States has a history of enslaving people, of genocide of the First Nations, of lynching, of segregation, of exploitation in Central America, all these things which contribute to the climate of hate and fear in this country. And yet, we also have a history of goodness, of sacrifice for the other, of taking care of those who are most in need. And we need to live into that in the face of the hate that is perpetuating this evil in our culture today. If we do that, there is a chance of change. But it will involve sacrifice and suffering, and for some it may entail death. But life or death, it is right to love. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to hear from you now. How's everybody doing tonight? The energy in downtown Pittsfield tonight is electric. We need to take this energy and put it to good use. So first, let's thank Drew and Indivisible Pittsfield, the Berkshire Brigade, the Fourth Freedom Coalition, and the other affiliate groups from all over the county for bringing us here together tonight. Reverend Howe, Eleanor's, Adam Hines' words really hit the mark tonight, didn't they? Yes. Thank you so much for sharing with us. For those of you who know me, you know Tricia asked you to do something. Tricia gives you homework, right? This is about action. We're not going to make a change unless we can have action. So what are we going to do? First and foremost, you're already here, right? We've come together. We're learning from each other. We're getting energy from each other. We're feeding each other hope that yes, we can make a change. Thank you. You've taken the first step. What's the second step? We need to look around to see who is doing the work on the ground on the southern border. The ACLU, some of the small nonprofits that are really helping the immigrants and their families. Find a way to support them. Go online tonight, do good research, and reach into your pocket and find a way to support those organizations.
Sure, wait. Also, donate to bail funds.
Yes. So bail funds is one example. By being able to pay somebody's bail, they're able to get out of the detention camps, get out of those cages. The action that really needs to change, to be taken, to make real change, is at the federal policy level. You have direct access to your member of Congress and 2 senators. So get home, get on those computers, get on your phones, call Congressman Neal, call Elizabeth Warren, call Ed Markey's offices, tell them, stop detaining children. Children do not belong in detention camps, period. Do I agree that these children should have toothbrushes and soap and everything? Yes, of course I do. But the point is they shouldn't be there to begin with. They shouldn't be there to begin with. There are people waiting in this country to take each and every one of them. They have sponsors. Let them go to their sponsors. That's the law.
Yes.
We also need to ensure that they stop this waiting in Mexico policy because it's dividing them from their legal counsel. Their lawyers can't help them if they're on the other side of the border. We are absolutely denying these refugees due process under U.S. law, period. They are breaking our own laws, and it has to stop. So, we're doing 3 things, right? We're helping each other, right? Learning from each other, feeding each other hope. We're going to donate to organizations that are really on the ground helping these refugees, and we're going to raise our voices loud and repeatedly to change the policies that are putting these people in these camps to begin with. And there's one more thing. There are so many people, our neighbors, our friends, who are feeling so vulnerable right now because of the hate that is being spread. Maybe it's not them or their children that are in those camps, but they're still feeling it. Reach out to your neighbor. Reach out to somebody in the grocery store. Reach out to somebody on the corner and say, I'm happy you're here. You are welcome here in our community. You are welcome here in our community. Thanks, everybody. Let's stick with this until the job is done.
Which is what was mentioned as lowering the median age of the protest.
Louder!
Camp Kinderland, the name of it comes from the Yiddish word for land for children. I'm sorry, okay, can you hear me now? Okay, Camp Kinderland comes from the Yiddish word for the land. Oh. I'm sorry, I'm not used to it. Okay, is this better? Okay, sorry. I wasn't ready for this. Okay, Camp Kinderland comes from the Yiddish word for the land for children. At our camp, kids can come and spend the summer with freedom, with happiness, with seeing their friends, with learning about the world, with trying to make change in the world. And over again, campers at our camp have expressed how lucky they feel and how guilty they feel, knowing that there are children in cages on the border, knowing that there's anyone locked up on the border. They feel lucky, but they also feel very scared for themselves and for the rest of the world. Camp Kinderland was started by immigrants in the 1920s, and we continue to fight for the rights of all immigrants, for the rights of immigration all over the world. Our theme this summer, we have a theme every summer, and this summer our theme is River of the People, a Mighty Force Towards Justice. And this theme is about the idea that when people come together, that's the only way we can make change. And as you can see, we have about 50 14 to 16-year-olds here with us today. Fighting and will continue to fight for the rights of immigrants and for freedom and justice for all, both in this country and in this world. This is the Kindlen shirt, for those who can see that I'm wearing it. On it says Shalom, Freiheit, and Emes, which are the Yiddish words for peace, freedom, and truth. In Elizabeth, New Jersey, about a week and a half ago, a sibling of a camper at Camp Kinderland was arrested wearing this shirt, blocking the entrance to a concentration camp. We are so proud of them, and we are proud of every person out there fighting. I'm proud of my campers. I'm proud of our camp. I'm proud of everyone here today, and I just hope we can keep doing our part. And I just want to say thank you.
There's one thing we all need to remember. We are all humans. There's not one of us here who is not a human, and there's not one person at the border that is not a human. There's not one of us that's more or less important than the other. We need to remember that. We need to move forward. We need to take responsibility for each other. We are humanity. We are one humanity. We need to stand in solidarity. This is very important. Solidarity is important. We are the only people here. Think about how many people are in this county. We are the ones taking responsibility to say, no, you cannot do this. We are not a country of concentration camps. We are not. We're a country of inclusion. We're a country of freedom. We're a country of immigrants. And that is what makes us great. And that's why we raise our fists in solidarity.
I've lost track of Dan Rafferty and John Brzezinski if they want to come up and say a few words.
Hi, everybody hear me? My name is Maria, and I've been in this community for about 19 years now with my husband Elmer. He's from El Salvador, and Trisha knows as well. We came here as a student to VCC when her husband was directing a program for immigrant students. And when we finished our program here, we went back to our countries and we worked in our country for a few years. And we came back to this community because of how we felt the first time that we were here, how welcome we were. We lived with American families the first time around, and we just established some really great relationships in this community. And we really, at that point, we felt like Pittsfield was home to us. So when we wanted to come back to this country, it was a no-brainer to come back to Pittsfield. So I really want to thank everybody, and I just want to thank you for your support. In all the years that I've been in Pittsfield, I never feel here like everybody or anybody is not welcoming here. I work here as a social worker, so I work with a lot of people in the community, a lot of Latino people, but a lot of Americans too as well, and other people from any part of the world that live here in this community. And just like me, Eleonor Velez that talked before me, but there are so many other faces of immigrants working here to make this community a better place. So I want to just remind everybody that we come here and we work just like you do. We pay bills just like you do. We struggle just like you do. You know, we have the same needs. We go to the movies, you know, we go to concerts, and we try to live a normal life just like everybody. So if you don't see as many immigrants' faces as you should in this type of situation, it's because, like Trisha was saying, some people are afraid. You know, some people are afraid to come and show their faces because they feel vulnerable, like Trisha said. And you know, that's a feeling that goes around. in cages because I have a child. And God forbid my child was in a cage. So I don't wish that on anybody, no matter the color, no matter where they're coming from. Just recently I was standing for an test because I want to be a teacher in this community. And I've been reading about the history of the United States, about the pilgrims that first came to New England. So that's how New England started, and all the other colonies in the United States. People came from other places. So it's too bad that we have forgotten that. But, it's good to have this type of event, and I just want to thank everybody. I really want to thank you for all this energy and for all this appreciation that you have of us. Like, you don't have to, but you are. And I appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. Thank you for Thank you for working with me. Thank you. And I love you. I love Pittsfield. I love this community. I really do. And really, we're trying to better ourselves every day to do better for the community that we are living in. So thank you so much again.
Dan Rafferty from the Berkshire chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America.
First, I want to thank Drew for organizing this event and inviting us all here. My name is Dan Rafferty. I'm co-chair of the Berkshire chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America. We have some comrades here today and some new faces. It is our belief that those who sacrifice everything to come here to this country, prosper and grow their families, should be able to live without fear, without terror. We look and we see the ICE raids and we see the terror they instill in our communities, and we can't accept it. We can't stand for that. We have to stand in solidarity as a mass organization through mass resistance. And we should end these attacks upon our people and our citizens, whether they're citizens or not, actually. By protesting this corrupt system, we should aim to come together not as separate and siloed organizations, but as one mass front. Now, more than ever, we need solidarity. And from the looks of it tonight, I can see that this is only the beginning from here on out. Thank you.
As was said earlier, no human being is illegal. No human being is illegal. This is nonsense. It's got to stop. So really appreciate people being here. Greylock together was part of this. Berkshire Citizens for Peace and Justice, Donna Mary Lathrop, spend most of their lives in here at Park Square kind of thing. Frank Chiadat, Berkshire Democratic Brigades for Freedom Coalition and Indivisible Pittsfield, and many others I know who really want to be here in spirit, if not in flesh. Nationally, these rallies are supposed to run from 7 to 9 p.m. I'm not going to make anybody stay here till 9 p.m. kind of thing. Some of our knees won't take it kind of thing. People are welcome to. They're welcome to. You can stay as long as you want. Our permit expires at 9 p.m. Somebody's going to lead us in singing "We Shall Overcome." Does anybody else want to speak before we have a song?
Hi, my name is Kelly Folkers. I'm a medical ethicist at NYU, and I want to read a few lines of a letter that 837 of us signed and sent to a group of attorneys representing a class action suit. No child should ever be punished to manipulate the behavior of their parents, not to discourage criminal behavior, and certainly not to discourage those pursuing legal pathways to claim asylum. As a matter of equity, it is without question that Americans would not stand for the children of our own citizens being used in this manner, even to prevent behavior much more detrimental to our society. The detained children are no less worthy of protection. Every child, regardless of citizenship, is imbued with the same fundamental humanity and basic needs. Failure to treat them with the same respect and compassion that we demand for American children is beyond unjust. It is a cruel abdication of our most fundamental commitment to other human beings. And I'll go further than this letter and say we need to close these camps. This is unethical. It's uncontroversial. Thank you.
I'm Marion Lathrop. I stand here at Park Square every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Berkshire Citizens for Peace and Justice has been standing here at a vigil for 17 years. Every Thursday, rain, shine, snow, 5 degrees below zero, whatever. I would like to invite anybody else to join us. There are 5 of us who come here every Thursday. We'd be glad to have 50 people every Thursday. So, bring a sign if you want. We have signs if you don't have your own. Just come and stand out here just like this, but do it weekly. Don't just come out once every great while. We'd love to have you.
Hold again. I just want to thank Drew for organizing this, and I want you all to send his right and left arm some good energy tonight so we can go to sleep.
It's little enough to do for such a, this is not the first step to Nazi Germany. We are 4 or 5 steps along the way. People are dying in concentration camps. That's the truth. People are dying here in the United States, concentration camps funded by our tax dollars. It has to stop. So happy to be part of this. I should thank the Pittsfield Police Department for loaning us this, so we do acknowledge that they were part of that kind of thing. So appreciate that. Did anybody else want to say a few words? Anyone else?
Good evening, Pittsfield. I am so happy to be part of this community. I moved here only on August 1st, but I already feel that this is the place to be. If you care about people, what I think there's one piece missing in this conversation, and this is the fact that if you are not Native American, you are also an immigrant. And that means that most of us, maybe all of us here, are immigrants, and it's just a matter of a generation difference. We are the same as them, it's just a matter of a generation. And in the interest of getting to know the variety of people that are represented here, I want to invite, if that's okay with Drew, come over and tell us where your ancestors are from.
Please, no. Please,
No? No? Okay. I want to tell you that I am from Brazil. I have been in this country for 24 years, and I am grateful. My ancestors are from Germany. If you don't speak it, at least think about to what degree you are just like the people at the border.
As we know, other than the indigenous peoples of the Americas, some people were brought here voluntarily, some people involuntarily. So when we talk about immigrants, we also have to remember that some people were brought here in chains. So I want to reemphasize what Tricia Parley-Bouvier said. Tonight is just one part of the action. This is here to give us strength and hope and courage to persist. We have to go home and find ways to invest in freedom. The ACLU, but I say there are a number of groups down at the southern border who are doing their best to publicize, to bring light to these conditions, to provide relief. Part of me objects to that. Our government is holding people hostage and we're expected to pay ransom money to get them out. That is totally immoral kind of thing. But nonetheless, that's where we are. As much as you can fund the rescue operation, please do that. Get in touch with Congressman Neal, Senators Markey and Warren, and tell them to do what they can. And I'd like to ask Senator Adam Hines here to make sure that no Massachusetts money ever goes to support ICE operations here in Massachusetts. I guess, Tricia, you can work on that too. All right. Again, thank you all for being here tonight. It's giving up a Friday night, but it's the least we can do when people are dying in cages in the southern border.